All right, welcome to video 2 of 3 tonight. Since the first one is a little bit longer, I'm going to do the best I can to speed through this one. But at all means, if you do not understand something, make sure you watch, listen, learn, then pause the video, pick up your pen and write your notes then, and then continue on. So now we're going to find unit rates from rates. And then we're going to express each as a unit rate. So, 21 gallons in 2.4 minutes. This is what makes it a rate, because we have a ratio with different units. So 21 gallons in 2.4 minutes, okay? And so now we want to turn this into a unit rate. Well, a unit rate has a denominator of 1. And in this case, it will need a denominator of 1 minute. Well, what would I do to 2.4 to create 1? What would I divide it by to create 1? What would I? That's right, I would divide it by itself. So all I have to do is divide the top number by 2.4, and then I have my unit rate. And when I take 21 and divide it by 2.4, I get 8.75. So my unit rate is 8.75 gallons per minute. All right, if I wrote that in words, 8.75 gallons per minute. That's how I could write it. Outstanding. Our next one, $12 for 4.8 pounds. Well, if you went to a store and they said that, you would be like, well, I don't know how much it costs for a pound of something, but so the store, you see unit rates all the time in the real world. In the real world, you see unit rates everywhere, especially a store. So we got $12 for 4.8 pounds. I'm just going to use the pound symbol. Again, we want to write it as a unit rate. So we want to come over here and we want 1 pound, right? We want to know how much does it cost for 1 pound. So the easiest way to do that is to divide by the denominator, 4.8. And when you take 12 and divide it by 4.8, you get 2.5, which is going to be $2.50 per pound. Okay, $2.50 per pound. Nice. Our next one, 210 miles in 3.5 hours. Oh, all right. Well, we can write a ratio with fractions in it. So we have 210 miles in 3.5 hours. All right. Well, I don't like dividing by fractions. I'm going to convert that to a decimal, and I know if I divide by 3.5, that is an equivalent decimal. So I'm going to divide the numerator by 3.5 to create my unit rate out of 1 hour. And 210 divided by 3.5 happens to be 60 miles per hour, or 60 I'm having a hard time today. 60 miles per hour. Man, where do you see that unit rate everywhere? That's right, on the streets, when it tells you how fast you're allowed to drive on a given street. They have those unit rates posted everywhere. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to change a little bit, and we're going to find unit rate from a table. It says the table shows the amount of money you can raise by dancing for a charity. Find your unit rate in dollars per hour. So that's very important. It's telling us how they want our unit rate to be written. Dollars per hour. So dollars have to go on top. And if you look at our table has the time listed on top in hours and the money listed in dollars underneath it. So you have to be very careful of what it's asking you to do and make sure you put the correct unit on top. So it should make absolutely no difference which ratio we choose. I'm going to choose the first one, and I'm going to say $90 in 6 hours. Now I can simplify that. I can simplify 90 over 6. I can divide by 6, so I can get my unit rate, and that would be $15 per hour. Now, just to show you that it should work anywhere, if I take this one right here, $360 in 24 hours, if I divide by 24, and you can prove it too, use your own calculator, I still get $15 per hour. So when they have a ratio table, It doesn't matter which ratio you choose to find the unit rate. All you got to do is divide by that denominator. Let's do another one. The ratio table shows the cost for different amounts of artificial turf. Find the unit rate in dollars per square foot. So once again, we want dollars per square foot. So we got to look at our table, and it has square feet on top and dollars on the bottom. So we got to be smart. So being a person of number sense, I'm going to choose the one I think is the easiest. And I'm going to choose $400 for 100 feet. Well, that simplifies real fast to $4 per foot squared. Per square foot. Nice. Pretty straightforward. And you get the same answer no matter which one of those you'd use. Going to our next example, 12, using the ratio table again to find the unit rate with respect to the specified units, grams of protein per serving. So we want grams per serving. So we got to make sure we write it that way. Always important. So we look at our ratio table. Again, servings is on top and protein is on the bottom. Whoa! Did you see what I see? They have servings of 1 listed. I won't have to do any math. I can put 1 serving on the bottom with 15 on the top. So 15 grams per serving. So you got to recognize and make things easy. Make things easy. And you recognize over here, if you take 30 and divide by 2, you'll get it. Obviously, if you don't eat anything, if you don't have any servings, there is no protein. So that one doesn't count. You wouldn't want to use that one, especially when you're trying to write per serving. Not per 0 servings, per 1 serving. Moving on to our last one before we finish up with another quick write, using the ratio table to find the unit rate with respect to the specified units in laps per minute. So write laps and then per minute. Always important, if you write that down, you'll make sure you put the correct numbers in the right location. So I'm going to come over here and I see laps is 1, but laps go on top. So that's not going to help me. So I want to put the laps on top. Let's just put that 1/2 using this ratio right here, 1/2. And now I can see that when I divide by 2 to make a unit rate, I'm going to get a ratio that is 1/2 to 1 or 0.5 to 1. However you want to write it. So ratios can have decimals and fractions in them, and that would make sense that you can run or swim or whatever they're talking about a 1/2 lap per minute. That does make sense to us. It does, it does, it does. Ladies and gentlemen, writing unit rates, pretty straightforward. The only thing you got to really make sure is you pay attention to what they're asking you to write as a unit rate. All right? So going to our quick write number 2, express the rate as a unit rate. Please write down quick write 2C, 112 feet in 5 seconds, and then write the unit rate. You can take another quick break, or you can join us again for another quick video and be done tonight. See you in a few.